Hi BookTube. Here's my review for The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. This was a cute little book. It was a cute little love story. I did have some problems with it, but overall I gave it about 3.5 stars rounded up to 4. So let me tell you a little bit about this book. This is the story of Hadley and Oliver. They meet in an airport. Hadley is on her way to London. She goes to JFK and she misses her flight by 5 minutes. Well, she has to rebook her flight and the next one goes out a little later, so she's kind of stuck at the airport, and that's where she meets Oliver. Now she's on her way to London because her dad is getting remarried to a woman that she's never met. Her dad had gone over to England, to Oxford, to do a teaching fellowship, and met a woman, had an affair, fell in love, and then ended up divorcing Hadley's mother. So Hadley, when she gets to the airport and misses this flight, is still dealing with all the emotional fallout of her parents' divorce. She's been kind of taking care of her mother emotionally and also trying to cope herself. So she really does not want to get on this plane and go to London. She feels a lot of guilt and a lot of obligation and a lot of anger, and so all these things are stirring around and they're weighing on her as she gets ready to fly. And of course, when she misses her flight, now she's going to be late for the wedding, and drama, drama, drama. Well, she meets Oliver at the airport, and Oliver is a college student who goes to school in the States. He's British, and he's going back home for a family thing, which we don't know about until later. So the story then becomes how they get to know each other and the time that they spend on the plane. Turns out they're sitting next to each other. Then when they land at Heathrow, he goes to his family thing and then she goes to the wedding. And then things go from there. This story on audio is narrated by Casey Holloway. I tend to be picky about my narrators. I guess because all I do is listen to audiobooks, but yeah, she just didn't quite get there for me. For a book that has a British character as a primary character and then also takes place largely in England, you'd think that she'd have a decent British accent, and honestly I think I could probably do a better one. Not that hers was horrible, it just wasn't that authentic. So, oh well. And then I had some problems with the story, and here's my thing. If this had just been a story just solely about Hadley, the 17-year-old high school student, and Oliver, the college freshman, while they were at the airport and then in the air and then once they got to Heathrow and ended, perfect story. Instead, we got all this family drama going on with Oliver's family, which really did give you some insight into his character, and then Hadley's family drama, which was a nightmare, honestly. Her dad, this is a big fancy wedding, and her dad is really expecting her to deal with issues and put everything aside and just be okay after all of this stuff has been happening over the previous year. And honestly, the way that the story wrapped up at the end, I thought was just a little too neat and certainly unrealistic in terms of Hadley. I don't think any 17-year-old would be able to deal with all this emotional fallout and then become the person that Hadley is at the end of the book. So, you know, that just bugged me. It just did. Now, you know, a fictional little love story isn't supposed to be realistic, but because Jennifer E. Smith went there, I feel like she could have done a better job with that. So the ending is really very sweet and very fulfilling. I mean, the book doesn't stop leaving you with, oh gosh, what happened? No, it's good. So, like I say, I gave this book, like, say, 3 3/4 stars. And I do hope that you'll give it a read. Let me know what you think if you've read this book. Let me know if you had any problems with it and what you thought of the story. I'll look forward to that. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.